Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 3 of Mount and Blade Bannerlord. So if you watched the last episode, we finished off here in Hand. Sorry again if I'm mispronouncing that. We recently won a tournament which secured us a very nice new horse. We're not actually high enough level in terms of riding to be able to use that just yet, but it won't take us too long to get there. I've just noticed as well there's a quest icon here, so I think we'll probably start off by paying the bribe to go speak to him, and that'll start us off on our way to progressing through the main storyline. I know we've done quite a bit of trading in the last few episodes, so we're going to start sort of moving forward now throughout the whole map and getting through some of those quests. So we'll go to the keep first, we'll pay that bribe, and then we'll be able to talk to, it's going to be this Mesui here.
Yours is not a face I know. What is your name, stranger?
Yeah, so whenever you speak to a new lord or lady for the first time, they always give you this sort of greeting. And she's going to tell you who they are. There's so many of them, there's no point really going too much into any of them other than the ones we're going to marry or maybe be emperors or empresses of certain factions. So we've asked about Nezareth's Folly, which is part of the quest line, and she's going to tell us a little bit of information. Feel free to give it a pause and read through these. I don't think any of the information is too important really, just asking about what happened in the battle. Battle of Pendrick, I believe it's called. And there's 10 people on the map. I think there's more than 10 that you can talk to, but we need to speak to at least 10 of them to find out a bit more information. And then we've had a little event here as we've come out of the settlement. So let's have a look. Tipping the scales. Your troops are taking a bit longer than usual to get ready, and you've had time to relax a bit and watch goings on at the market. One commodity vendor in particular has caught your attention. He always uses one set of weights for the sacks that he's buying from local farmers and another for goods that he sells. You have little doubt that one or both of these sets is a false measure, allowing him to defraud his customers. So it's going to give us an option here. Maybe we can speak out, or maybe we can help him out and get a bit of money off him. For 200 dinars and a reputation of being devious, it's really not worth us sort of taking a devious trait potentially for 200 dinars. We can denounce him. I have done this once before, and it turned out that like all the lords and all the notables in the kingdom were sort of on this guy's side for whatever reason. So it's not really worth us getting into it. We're probably just going to go for that. It's not our affair. I would like to do this one, but last time I did lose reputation with all of them, and it's by 20, which is quite a large reputation loss. It only goes to 100 or minus 100, positive 100. So 20, is a big figure, and it takes a lot of work to sort of build that back up. So we're just gonna stay out of this one and walk away, unfortunately. So that's a quick look at our party. So we're gonna have 28 troops now. We're gonna stop at this town, this little village, on the way, and we'll get one horse back there. We want to just only get horseback riders for now, just because they're a much more powerful troop to be picking up when they're sort of like low tier like they are. So we've got 2 there. We've got space for 1 more, but I tell you what, we'll leave that now because we want to be picking up some more trained, not some more trained, some people from the taverns. So we'll head down towards Southern Empire and then hopefully get to Umbrella. I guess this would be the Northern Empire. Deserters there, we don't want to let them catch us, so yeah, we've got to be careful. They got obviously a lot more troops than us, but there must have been some battles. Luckily we got the speed on our side. So let's visit the taverns. There's no one here for us to recruit. Obviously might as well do a little bit of trading as we go along. Very, very good prices here for all the stuff we picked up in the previous towns. Flax we'll keep hold of for now. Some horses. These are a good item to trade early game. We're not gonna sell all the horses though. I just couldn't help but sell one because it's such a good price. We'll double check as well. we'll sort of do a little bit of trading as we move along, but it's not going to be sort of super high priority. We could very well, you know, continue doing the route we've been doing, and make a shed load of money, but obviously it's not, for the purpose of the video, it's not going to be super fun for you guys to watch that sort of gameplay forever. So we're going to be trying to do a few more tournaments, attack a few more looters and stuff, and that'll sort of keep us progressing then. And obviously wherever we can, then we're going to speak to the lords and ladies that are required for the Nezareth's Folly quest line. We might even head out to do the naval combat quest line and rescue our sister. Main reason we want to hit up tournaments though is then we can get our brother back. And I believe our clan tier will go up to level 2 as well, or level 1 I guess. We hit 50 renown, so yeah, let's try chase down these mountain bandits here. Yeah, we get our troops leveled up a bit as well, hopefully. So yeah, you can see we got much more formidable force now with cavalry, horse archers and such. So the way the combat works in this is, so the defaults is 1 for infantry, 2 for archers, which we don't have any of, 3 for normal cavalry like your sword cavalry, and 4 for your horse archers. And then once you've done that, you can see you've got a sort of menu there on the left, F1 to F9, so you can see the stopped at the moment F1, so if we press F1 we can then press F3 and tell them to charge. And generally it's going to be sort of good practice to have the cavalry charge, assuming you're not super outnumbered, especially horse archers. They're obviously not going to go and engage directly with the enemy. They're just going to sort of pepper them with arrows as they circle them. So we're going to move our infantry up to this position, and we don't want to charge in, because charging sort of puts you at an attacking disadvantage, and we outnumber them anyway, so really we'll let our cavalry pester them a little bit and maybe take a couple of them out, and then when they do come to assault us, they'll be a bit weaker, and we're actually going to go in and maybe get some more hundred levels on this. This sword should actually be pretty good at cut damage, so you kill 2 of them there. And because we are the instigator of this attack, so we attacked them when they were trying to run away, they typically in that scenario won't come to us. We usually gotta go to them, because we instigated the fight, we're the attacker. And obviously I think the main reason the game works that way is you get a defending advantage. You can get attacking advantages if you've got the right skills for it, but typically if you're holding your position you've got an advantage over the people attacking. And we've ordered the charge now because there's only a couple of them left and we'd like to finish up the battle. So it's just the 1 cavalry unit left now. Let's see if we just so a lot easier once you've got the better units there. Some renown. We'll take the prisoners just for a bit of money, and we can start upgrading our troops now. So they'll become marauders, which is obviously a higher tier horseback archer, and we're probably just gonna, so we keep specking. Can't recall which of the, so I've got horseback cavalry somewhere here, but these are all classing as horse archers. I mean, we'll just keep going into the horse archers. That's the Kurzit's sort of strong point. We've got a few items here we can take with us and, you know, get all them sold. Bit of food as well. So what we will actually do, we'll quickly pop back into Mayez. We're going to ask where the nearby tournaments are, and ransom our prisoners quickly as well. And there is a companion.
Well
here, so
now,
we're gonna
stranger.
pick him up
Peace.
while we're here. We'll just skip through his dialogue. He just tells you a bit about his background. There's nothing really worth reading. Go to the arena. So let's talk to the master here. So Makeb still and Tayal, which are both really far away. not really the distance you want to be going. And I might have mentioned this before, but just because he says Makeb and Tayel doesn't mean they're the only places with tournaments, and it doesn't mean they're the closest. We could go to Sironia here now, and likely could be a tournament on. We're not going to go to that town specific, but it's likely one of these other towns is going to have a tournament running. So yeah, we'll keep going. We'll leave the 2 recruitment slots open for more companions. The companions are going to give us various buffs. So if I go to the clan parties, you can see here within our sort of party that we've got of troops, we can assign various roles, and depending on who you put in here, it's going to give you certain buffs. So our guy that we've just picked up is Yakus the engineer. So I would imagine if I go to here, so this is my character by default, he's doing them because we got no one doing them other than ourselves. He's really low engineering, so you get 1% faster siege and production. Whereas if we give Yakus the position, who's got 160 engineering, it's plus 16%. He's got various perks that come along with that, so we'll assign him the role. It's not going to make any real difference to us at this moment, just because we're not going to be sieging any castles, which is what engineering's used for. But yeah, we'll put him in there anyway. And there's only 6 looters here. I'll just send in the troops to attack without me. We might as well take the Empire Peasant and the 2 prisoners. A bit more loot as well there. And you know, this is definitely a way to build up money and wealth by fighting little parties. Obviously, if you just want to sort of skyrocket your progression, the trading is going to be a lot more effective, and it's well, can be a little bit easier depending on the sort of enemies you're coming across. Yeah, just want to get definitely some of that linen sold. Flax 59 is absolutely unbelievable for flax. I think if we probably bought this for like 5 coins or something, I can't remember, but obviously 59 is crazy. And then we've got some of these old weapons that we can sort of get rid of as well. You know, and you can sort of see here now we're in a position where we just generally are profiting by whatever means we're doing. We'll just double check they haven't got any goods. All different towns and villages produce all different goods, so you can see raw silk here is really cheap, so we're going to pick up a few units of that. Salt, just to keep our money coming in, we'll get some of that as well. Everything else, whale oil, I'll take like 1 of those, maybe 2. Everything else though is sort of quite expensive. That jewellery is not a good price. This is sort of the max you'll ever be able to sell it for, from my experience. Obviously there'll be occasions where you can sell it for more, but it's unlikely we're going to come across those now. Yeah, so we've got them goods. So let's head down, maybe to Vostrom, or this town's a little bit closer. Try and pick up these looters on the way. We'll attack some. It's quite fun doing the attack, and it'll get us a one-handed skill higher. And when it's just looters, you know, we can just sort of charge everyone in. It's not going to be a difficult fight. These are like the easiest enemies in the game. You can see how much better our horse was than the original one. 150. It's from the massive amount of speed bonus we got behind our swing there. Oh, we missed that one. You see you're on 57 riding, I think that said there. So 90 for that really good mount. We're not far off it. Once you sort of get towards the 90 area, that's when your skills start to get pretty slow at upgrading. Obviously the more upgrade, or the more of that action you do, the quicker the upgrade's going to become. You can see we don't actually have the mount now required to upgrade that troop there, so I'll show you a little bit about mounts once we get to the next town. because obviously we do have horses, but it's not the correct type of horse required to upgrade those units. And I'll show you sort of the differences between those and what you need to sort of look out for if you're confused with that. Just once we get into Lycaron here now. So let's have a quick look. So if we go to the trade panel, so there's a few different horses. So we've got Sumpter horses, and if we look in our inventory, we've got 26 of those. So you'd expect us to be able to upgrade that troop, especially when it says type mount there. But what you're actually looking for, so if we find one here, so you can see this Midlands Palfrey, so they've got a mount type mount. So these are the ones that have this at the bottom that you'd need to upgrade that unit, and it does get a bit more complex, so eventually you need war mount. So when they start to get to about tier 4 and they become like heavy cavalry, they'll need a war mount over this to upgrade the unit. And obviously when it's 600 a horse, or you know, this is a really cheap price I'd say for a war mount. They can end up costing you over 1,000 a horse, and obviously to upgrade a unit to that sort of level, you know, it's not cheap. So we're going to pick up say 10 of those horses, and we're just going to get rid of a few of the Sumpter ones just to not have the herd in debuff. Got whale oil which we can sell, both of them pretty sure. A couple of the leather, linen, hides. I'm going to get rid of some of these because, and that silk, glad I picked that up. Flax again, really high price, so just get rid of all of that. We do some salt already. Alright, that's going to put us in a good position. I want to just double check their goods. Felt can be a good one. We'll pick up 5 units of felt, maybe a bit more pottery. Wool is never really going to sell for a high price, you might as well ignore it. And then we'll just check out our food. We do have 89 days of food, but it's more the variety we want to focus on. Grapes, yeah, grapes aren't always super common as well, so tend to pick up a few of those if you get a chance to. And if we go to our party now, so these Vigler recruits, these are the Imperial Cavalry. We've got a few of those horses, so we'll upgrade him and him. And you can see 5 horses used for it, and it's all Midlands Palfrey. But it's going to make our units a lot stronger. It's good in a way to keep prisoners, although you do lose morale by recruiting them, and the high tier ones do cost a lot of, or it takes a long time to recruit them. Obviously you get to avoid the cost of having to buy all the horses and stuff like that, so it's definitely worth doing. We get ourselves into a little fight, and we got, well, myself up here, which we'll put as the commander of the infantry, and then engineer can just be a hero in that squad. And once again we'll just charge everyone in, because the looters are really nothing to worry about. You could really solo all 16 of these with just your main character. Just make sure your shields, the only thing that you got to watch out for is going to be the rocks and stuff that they throw. While they don't really do much damage, they do sort of pick you down eventually.
Die, you bastard!
Lethal. Obviously we're steamrolling them. We can skip more fights if you'd like me to. Just trying to do a few more, just because obviously we spent a large amount of time trading in the previous episodes. Just going to keep on going now, just to take all of that. Look at 2 slots. So these Vigler recruits, these start at tier 2, and these are the ones that turn into horsemen, in terms of the Imperial faction anyway. don't think through the normal Imperial recruits, I'm pretty sure there's never a point where they'll upgrade into cavalry. You have to start off with these Vigler recruits. I think we got quite a few horses en route in progression, so we'll take just normal recruits this time. But yeah, we'll slowly make our way to Ostican, you know, doing a bit of trading, fighting a few parties on the way, and then once we're there, then we'll have a look at the new quest line for the DLC. We'll get rid of all these items. We'll just check them quickly to see if they're better than what we're wearing, which that one was. We also need to be checking for any tournaments that are running. So you can just sort of see here how easy it is for us to make a really healthy amount of money on our runs here. Just check for more trade goods as well. Grain is a good price. I mean, there's always the option. I mean, 8's relatively high for grain, but say you've seen this at 4, you could buy, you know, a couple hundred grain, and whilst the profit you might make is say like 5 coins per grain, you can sell a lot of it and the price doesn't really change. This is a high price for silver, even though it's in green. Usually, your highest you're sort of selling it for is about 180, I'd say. So we probably ignore that. And then we want to wait here for some time, just in case there is a tournament on. There's not, but we'll ask him. We'll ask our mate in here where it's at. Vitricotta and Shiraz. Okay. So where are we in relation to this? Vitricotta with Shiraz. So we could just go straight to Shiraz. Both are a bit out of the way, really. Let's go down to this town here. Maybe stop at Jamalis on the way, or Jalmaris. Problem is, when they're that far away, the tournament can finish before you even arrive there. Sell all that pottery off now. Hides, go to some of them. Raw silk, good price there. Salt, really good price. Get rid of that. This is actually, it doesn't say it, and I almost missed it, but 87 is crazy for hardwood. I feel like this is a good price as well for the felts. I think that was all below 100 when we bought it. And then 197. Just pick up 5 more of those. I'm pretty sure that's quite expensive, but we're pretty rich, so it's not the end of the world. We're just going to get a bit more of each food, so we've got that bonus to morale. Linen, buy all of that up. I feel like, was it me who sold that linen? No, it can't have been. It's not a bad price for leather, but I don't really want to buy any more of it. Where are we at? Scrolling too quickly. It's not a bad price for iron ore, but we can always buy it cheaper if we really want to. I think we're sort of good there. I'm tempted to sort of wait for morning just in case there is a tournament here. There's not. Let's just leave then. So then we'll head down to this town over here now. Could do a few hideouts. I could show you a stealth run through of a certain hideout. I mean, as I say, there's one here. These aren't really difficult to do. The stealth, I would say, is it just takes a lot longer than just assaulting it directly. And you know, it's arguably harder to stealth it than it is just to straight up fight them for it. So yeah, I mean, once you've got some decent troops, really you can just walk through it, and you don't even need the help of troops. You could just solo the whole thing if you've got a good bow. Date fruit is really expensive. I do need it to get the last point of morale boost on I'm going to pick up a load of these grapes. Not seen many of them, so it's quite likely we can sell them for a decent price in certain places. And we'll spend that money as an investment in ourselves. Just because it's going to give us that. You can see now food variety is giving us +7 to morale, which is the most you'll be able to get from food variety in the game. So we've got a bit of everything that you can eat, that your soldiers can eat. And the easiest way to check that is there's a little, if I show you, say on butter there, this little bread icon is consumable, so you can see all the different consumable items we've got there. And we'll see if I can talk to them. Sometimes they won't let you if it's in a siege. Don't get involved. Oh, but they've taken it now, so sort of good timing really. So we want to go to the Lord's Hold, and it's Aragon we can see in the top right.
Hey.
So just introduce ourselves, and then we'll ask him about the Battle of Pendrick. And yeah, I mean I sort of flew through that, but feel free to pause if you want to read any of that. So that's 2 out of 10 now on here. So if we go to investigate Nezerit's Folly, or Neretz's, I don't know how to say that. But we've spoken to 2 out of 10, and once we've done 10, it's going to open up sort of the next quest line where, you know, maybe we can become a king or a lord and a lady who fights for another king, however you want to play really. So linen, great price here. Get rid of the last of our hides. And then let's have a look what they've got for us. We're actually running low on trade goods right now, so hopefully we can pick something up. I mean, we can make more buying it elsewhere, but we'll buy some just in case. I'm going to buy 2 velvet. We need to sell it for more than 400 though, which is tough. I mean, let's have a look. Because I guarantee now every town we go to, we'll be buying it for less than I've just bought it for. Buy those dates because we don't have many. Olives really cheap. Make some money if we just take all of these. And then we're going to wait here for some time because there should be a tournament in this town if it hasn't finished already, which it has. So we're going to ask him now where the nearest one. Pen Cannock and Galland. So I think Galland is just above us somewhere. I mean, it's all the way up here. Pen Cannock's here. So we head to Pen Cannock. Stop at Saga on the way. And we are heading up to that Ostican, where we can start that new quest line. Okay, let's have a quick look at trading. So, I mean, we've made money on that velvet. I'd rather get rid of both of them. Makes me really want to sell these horses for a price like that, but I just can't. Grapes we did pick up extra of. Olives was the extra one as well, wasn't it? Right, they should have some trade goods near then, because everything seems to be a low price. Yeah, flax not really worth doing. We could pick up, say, 2 or 3 oil. It's a pretty good price for it. But I tend to find in the Vlandian faction, which is where we're at currently, I think oil's pretty common. Donative demand is not skipped your men's notice that you've accumulated a fair amount of money in your treasury. A delegation approaches you and suggests that it would be a good time for the traditional donative, as Calradian emperors of the old were known to give their legions. So, yeah, I mean, I've had this prompt a few times in previous playthroughs. I usually, for 500 dinars, I'll increase some morale and get the generous reputation. It's just, you know, it's all good really for 500. I'd happily pay that for the morale boost because it's going to help us level up our leadership and stuff as well. So chase down these looters, surrender or die, and we're just going to send the troops because, you know, it's a really easy battle to win. It's not going to challenge us at all, that one. How many? 4 imperial equities. We got 2 more recruits, so we'll just chuck another horseman on there. Okay. he's going to run up to Pencanak for us, and we'll just chase him up towards where we're heading anyway. So the best archers in the game, Battanian Fiends, they're going to come from this green faction. Really powerful archers. You have an army of 200 of those, which would be pretty much impossible to do anyway. You know, you're in for a couple of victories. The tier 7, I think it is, which is the highest tier for all troops in the game. Yeah, it takes a really long time to get troops to that tier. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly do a bit of trading. Learning can go. Oil. We bought it for 150, so that can all go. We'll just get rid of these bits of armor we picked up off the looters as well. And then olives. I can't remember how much we bought them for, but I'm sure it was like 12 or something. You can see date fruit is just expensive everywhere because I don't like it. Maybe I need to buy a date workshop or something somewhere. And then we're going to go to the arena and join the tournament. So we're nearly at 50 renown, which is going to unlock it will unlock one quest line where we can rescue our siblings. And I will say that the Battanian tournament's the easiest of all. Saying that now, I just probably spoke too soon. But essentially, I'm gonna eat my words. I'm gonna eat my words. Can't believe it. I've never lost a Battanian one. I can't believe it, to be honest. I'm a bit speechless. Typically, in those tournaments, they just never block the right direction, and you just swing wherever you want and just kill them. But obviously, it's just exposed how terrible I am at blocking with without a shield, basically. Shields are easy mode. You can just you just hold it out, and it blocks wherever it's coming from. It does take more damage if you don't block the right direction, but it always blocks. And you're not usually in fights long enough to really break a shield. How embarrassing! I could have really done without victory. Right, anyway, we'll quickly divert from a terrible loss like it didn't happen. And then, let's have a quick look. There's nothing in here. We'll ask where the next tournament is to get rid of our shame. Revolt and Prevent, so we will be heading that way now. So let's head to Revolt. So we'll pick up these looters as well. 15 looters there. Walk themselves into a corner. And we'll send our troops to attack. We've got prisoners on us, which we should have got rid of, but I forgot. Yeah, I mean, we'll get rid of them at Revolt, which means we're a little bit slower on the world map. Minus 0.36 there. As well. I mean, iron ore's just not going for anything. This is what it's like sometimes. I find that this left side of the map is always worse for trade. I mean, 100 for oil is crazy cheap. It's sort of really difficult to not make a profit at that price. So we will take all of that. I usually tend to stay away from wine and oil because, for example, if I go to Lycron now, I guarantee I can't sell it for that much. Might just take one velvet as well. Pottery is really expensive there, so if we can find somewhere that does pottery. Oh, we've missed the tournament, didn't we? Right, hopefully we can forget our past transgressions in this tournament and get this bit of a rubbish banner. interesting. Never really used a weapon like this on ground, but Vlandians are sort of like the Swadians in the original game or in Warband. Might have been one before Warband, I can't recall 100%. Yeah, we don't like that he's got a crossbow and we've got to charge him with no cover at range. Luckily this thing does a lot of damage. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be an idiot to miss it that much. There we are. Get our bets on. So they're pretty good cavalry units in the Vlandia. Dead. Do hate using spears, but because of that I've gotten better at using them. But he's got a sword, so have I. It's a different game when a sword's involved, isn't it? Let him get distracted on me or him and we just hit him in the back then. Simple round. Definitely don't want to do that. Final round. Yeah, and just like that, I forgot that we even lost our tournament. We're now crowned as the best player in the game again. We're going to head on down to Ostican here, and we're going to make a start on... Oh bloody hell, they would have wiped us right out. 97 deserters there. So they literally do, as the name states, desert from one of the Lord's parties, usually after a battle. And they will have a lot of high tier troops in there, so it's very easy for us to get messed up by a group like that. We have a quick look, just make sure there's no better weapons we can pick up now, because we are going to do a lot more hand-to-hand combat, and obviously my trading addiction is going to make me pick up some of these goods as well while we're here. Pottery, we know we can sell that for really high in the previous towns. So yeah, I think that should be good. We've definitely got enough food, so the velvet can go. Oil, I know we can make more, but we're going to sell a few pieces. Yeah, I mean we've got more cavalry, so I'm going to put that one on. I tend to keep the banners for the whole game essentially, because obviously everyone has a different effect, and you might find that one greatly benefits you in future, so keep hold of that. And I'll just double check there's no better bows or anything. Yeah, see, we can't use this one on horseback, even though it is pretty good. And our shield is not terrible. I don't really want to spend 10,000 on one either. All these swords are pretty terrible. Generally find the best weapons come from either tournaments or blacksmithing. Right, okay, so we're going to start on the quest line here. You're strolling through Ostican streets when you hear raised voices coming from a side alley. You turn to look and see three rough-looking men accosting an older man in a cloak. His gaze shifts quickly from one to the other, and his body is tensed, as though he is going to spring into action. You sense a fight is about to start. Continue.
Listen, you lot, I'm in a bit of a hurry. If I give you a penny each, will you stop pestering me,
You're Gunner of Lagshofen, aren't ye? We got a message from the Sea Hounds for ya.
You've got a message from those curs. Out with it then. What's your message?
The message? The message is that you will die, you damn fool.
And how should I die then? Of old age? While you three work up the courage to attack a wizened greybeard? Go on. You've delivered your message. Now scamper off.
We'll send you down to the Pale One's hungry halls. Right now. Kill him, boys!
Uh-oh. Let's get down there quick. My sword's too big. Keep hitting the wall of the other guy. So we need some overhead swings. Boom. Mate was looking a bit bloodied
By
there.
my blood. Damn, that
Damn
hurts.
right by your blood.
I think I'm all right, though. Thank you.
It's no problem.
I
mate.
am Gunnar of Lagshoven, from the Nordvig lands. I've come to this port seeking warriors and a ship. These men we fought were allies of a pirate gang who called themselves the Sea Hounds. They have been raiding and slaving along the Nordvig's shores, and I intend to go to war with them. The Sea Hounds and I have history, and nowadays they hate my guts as fiercely as I hate theirs. Somebody must have sent word of my whereabouts to their local friends, as these lowlifes had a mind to do me in. Again, you have my thanks for evening the odds.
Yep. I am worth 2 men. Okay, so did you say slave raids? My brother and sister were taken in one.
I know what it's like to lose family to slavers. If you're still searching, look to the Sea Hounds. They've got their hands in most of the slaving that happens along these coasts.
Who are
It's
the
hard
Sea
to
Hounds?
believe now, but they were once my brothers in arms. Years ago we fought side by side in the last great rebellion in the north. Most of the clans and many freemen like myself refused to bow to Volbjörn the Usurper, as he was then called. But Volbjörn knew how to speak to men's desires. He won over the bigger clans with promises of land and silver. And when summer came and he brought a fleet to give us battle, he had with him so many longships that their sails covered the horizon. We still fought them, of course, but their numbers were too many to beat.
So I might skip through a bit of the dialogue, 'cause it is obviously taking quite a long time for him to get through, but we'll see how it goes.
They dishonor what we fought for. I'm no stranger to battle. I'll kill when I must, but they murder for pleasure, thinking the All-Father rewards bloodthirst. He wants warriors, not hounds. I mean to gather up some of my kin and friends to go against the Sea Hounds. Just a few days ago I ran into an old comrade of mine here in Ostikan. He is called Purig, and he happens to own a fast ship. He promised to help me capture a Sea Hound ship and put together a crew.
Okay.
So, I'm going to make you a proposal. Perhaps you'd like to come with us. I can't guarantee we'll find your kin, but I can promise a good fight. And, if we win, a bit of fine loot. And, well, if you'd ever had an interest in learning how to handle a ship, you won't find any better school than these northern seas.
Okay, looks like we'll join him and we can hunt together.
You can find Purig in the tavern and introduce yourself. I should go get myself cleaned up and get ready to travel.
Okay, awesome. So it looks like the next step's going to be to visit the tavern, and Purig's going to be in there. We'll ransom our prisoners quick. We'll talk to this fella.
Peace to you.
Seems like he might just be another companion, so we'll pick him up quickly as well. and then we need to visit the tavern. But what we'll do, guys, we'll leave that episode there. Thank you very much for watching, and in the next one, if you're down to keep watching and keep with us, we're going to start on that quest line with the naval combat and how it's introduced to you, and hopefully save our brother and sister in the progress. So yeah, if you have any comments to say, please leave them down below. If I've missed anything, please let me know. If there's something I could do better, please let me know. But thank you very much for watching, and if you could leave a like and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Take care, guys.